Hello. Hello and welcome to the first ibgib video where I actually say something. It's not just a live coding session. I'm Bill Rayford. Today I'm going to walk through how to install or clone the ibgib repo and see if we can get it up and running. I'm going to do it with Node version 17. I use it on node 16, but we'll see if we can get it going with node 17. So without further ado, let's look over here. First thing, we'll go here to see if that's right. Hey, there we go. So this is the repo right now, the ibgib repo or ibgib, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It's G like in garage. Right now there's the main repo, which is just ibgib. It's kind of like a mono repo. I had several other projects in here. I've called them out a little bit. There's also a base repo that if we go to GitLab, here's the tsgib. This is the graphing library. But for right now, we're just going to be going here to the base library. We'll they used to have an SSH link on here. So we'll go over here. So we'll do it inside the 10th folder, I guess. There we go. And then we'll just switch out. Oh, I use the vim commands in bash, or zsh, whatever you want to use. But so this is more for advanced people anyway. Totally not going to use this video. That's good. Good starting point. What is it? Oh, good Lord. Well, we'll try just cloning the HTTPS. So here it is. The main application, it's not really just an application, but the main application is going to be in Ionic. But like I said, for right now, I'm using node 16. So we're going to use NVM, which is Node Version Manager. That's a great tool for Node for managing different versions. So if you see there, I have version 17. So we're going to do NVM use 17. Now we'll try this. Okay, so now if we do an npm ls, look in the global, yeah, see all we have is this. So perfect. So let me close my existing code. kind of Visual Studio Code inside here. Sure, I trust it. So we're going to go over here to the package.json. So here's the runtime dependencies, here's the dev dependencies. The main thing is that it's an Ionic app using Angular, the Angular flavor. It installs Karma and Jasmine for testing, and also it's using Zone. The only other stuff in here besides that is the AWS, which we'll get into in another video. And then my stuff here, which is the tsgib. Everything else is pretty much just the Angular Ionic stuff, so, and TypeScript. So, look in the README, we'll see, here's the development section of the README. Says Node version 16, but really it has to be at least, I want to say 16. That's to try to get isomorphic cryptography going. So using the Web Crypto API. Anything above that. So below that, you didn't have close to isomorphic. I still have a hacky solution for isomorphism that we'll find out here, but in the meantime, as we say, so now we're using Node version 17. We'll just npm install in here, but you always want to check what are the packages before you ever do an npm install. Okay, so while that's going, we'll look over here. So we'll see if we have to install Angular globally or not. Also the same thing with Ionic. I still haven't upgraded to Ionic v6 or capacitor v3. But ibgib is mostly about the protocol. So Ionic is an excellent piece of software that lets you target many targets, including the web and Android and iOS, as we'll see. But really, the ibgib side of it is mostly about the protocol and programming the distributed way with the ibgib style. So we'll get into what ibgib's decentralization is like compared to other blockchains and other DLTs, distributed ledger technologies. But just suffice to say that I've been developing ibgib for 20 years now. It wasn't called that at first, but I didn't come at it from the Bitcoin blockchain world. I just was working at it for distributed computation. It just happened to be, coincide with things like microservices. I call them alternative services, which we'll get to here, but not in this video. But anyway, it's apart from the Bitcoin world. So it's not taking a blockchain, which is like a linked list of Merkle links, and then trying to shoehorn that functionality into other types of distributed computation. This is more an approach with really distributed commutation and more semantic version control is one of the ways to look at it. Sort of like Git for anything. So whereas Git is hyper optimized for text, ibgib is about having timelines of anything more at a semantic level. It's sort of like a superset of what gives. But anyway, so npm install is done. Let's see what else. What do we want to do next? We'll do ls, see what's inside here. So it looks like the Angular CLI is local anyway. Also, I don't think the Ionic CLI is local though. So I'm going to go down here. So I just yanked into my clipboard. I guess I should do it visually at least. There we go. Yank. This is Vim. Maybe we should turn on, what's it called? Presentation mode. Oh well, I'll look at that for another time. Oh, I can't remember look, let's just try instead of that. We'll just try this. See what we screw up. Okay, that's probably right. We'll see. Okay. The other thing I know we do need to install globally is WebExt. This WebExt helps us target both Firefox and Chrome extensions. So the ibgib API is meant to be as minimal as possible for what it wants to do. So with DLT type things, it's trying to add a very thin layer on top of files, so file metadata. So we should be able to target, you know, a web app, Android, iOS using the Ionic, and then using WebExt, we're going to use the same Angular Angular application and install that with a little bit of metadata with WebExt to be able to use it as an extension or an add-on in Firefox and in Chrome, or Chromium based. So let's see what we have to do. We're going to go over here. See what they say we have to do to install globally. Excuse me. So that's what we want right there. Could have been funky characters we just pasted into. Whatever. You gotta trust WebExt, I guess. Okay, so now let's see that that's in. Okay, so we have WebExt, Ionic CLI. Let's see. Now, if we just say run, it'd be the same thing as looking at the package.json. We can see here we have various bunch of different things because I forget all the parameters and whatever, so you just make scripts, npm scripts I mean. So we'll just try build and see if it works. Okay, well, it built. We'll see. Let's try just an npm start. This will start a web server, and then we'll use another tab to start Firefox. Well, I gotta get more used to doing this, huh? Compiled successfully. Now it's running. As it says here, we have the localhost on 4200. Now notice it says HTTPS. That's because we need that crypto library, the crypto API in the browser. And Google Chrome, I'm not sure if it was Firefox also, but they don't like doing hash things, crypto things, without having HTTPS. So that's why even in testing we do HTTPS, but we use just development certificates. It's not like we're deploying our own certificates or anything. Okay, so now that that's going, now instead of doing it manually, we can just say npm run ff, and then we'll say 0. Oh, actually first we'll run create profiles. So if we do if we see here, here's create profiles, and then if we do, I've added little scripts for the help on some of those. So npm run man ff create profiles. We'll just have to do this once. So it tells you, it creates test profiles for Firefox. Each profile retains data between sessions. You can delete profiles in about profiles or use in the profile manager with Firefox. This is because we want to have different profiles. Each ibgib application stores data just using IndexedDB in the browser directly. I also have it where we can sync using, in our case, the only adapter right now uses AWS, which we'll get to another video. But the main thing is that in order for you to have your own, sovereign data, it shouldn't be, storing your data just in the cloud somewhere else, right? So you're storing your own data. If it's on the Android, you have access to the files for your data. You don't have to try to do a download or export or whatever. You already have them. They're just files. It's just they also have metadata for the DLT. But anyway, we'll see what this means. So right now, going to go over here. We're going to see my profiles here. So I have ibgib test 1, ibgib test 2, ibgib test 3. So we're just going to remove these. These are just for testing. I would have a script to delete them, but Firefox doesn't want you deleting from the CLI. Probably the smart thing, right? You don't want someone on the internet to delete your profile. Okay. So now, so it's ff:create profiles. So that's going to create some profiles there. So now if we go back to this, if they're going to come back, and there they are. ibgib test 1, 2, and 3. So those are going to correspond to running right here, these scripts, ff1, 2, and 3. And then no profile is ff0 right here. But for us, we're going to do a all right. So the I remember to use the mouse more, huh? Remember, our development is at localhost 4200 on HTTPS, right? It's going to say security risk. That's because we're using self-signed certificate. Okay, so it's going. We'll see if it works, just at least for this first part. So here we've just started up. We want to create a local space. It's kind of like a username. So as it says, but you know, you always have more than one username and they all end up all over the place. Well, in this, it's very much about having like spaces, local spaces, and then other spaces to connect to. So for right now, we just have one local space and as many synchronization spaces as we want to, but really it's just one and one right now. So we'll just, you know, it's just alphanumerics, and I think also hyphens. Try that. And this is a prototype, so remember it's slow and stupid, very limited. Yeah, so there, it worked. Little sunglasses here. You can see, you know, it looks like the worst chat app you've ever seen, the slowest thing. But like this, for instance, this is home. It's a tag. It's not anything special about home. It's just, it's a tag. And this, just double check. So we added a comment. We could have also tagged something, but you gotta start here in the home or wherever. Okay. Click at the top. Show you that. Okay, that's probably enough for this video. We got it up and going. Well, I can show you at least a little bit of code. You can just go back over here. Shut down the server, shut down Firefox. So I guess if we generate some components, maybe we would need the Angular CLI, but I'm just going to clean some of this up here real quick. All right, so we've installed it. It's up and going. Just to give you a quick glance in the source, this is where it is in source. Android is where the Android target is, iOS, the iOS target. ETE is some plumbing that I don't use really, but it came for free with Ionic. The base library is something that's that is pretty locked down with unit testing and integrated testing, but so yeah, so there's app components. Ibgib page and the page controller. Most of the work is done in, or a lot of the work is done in the abstract base classes here. These are common code that I'm going to be probably pulling out into their own libraries. Here's the views for each one of those views in the app. Is an ibgib. You can think of an ibgib being sort of like the backing model for like an MVVM or a model view controller, but they're all the same contract. They all interface or data shape. Yeah, so that's it. Hey, we're done. Thanks for watching. Let me know comments. Whatever. I'm terrible at this. Anyway, okay. Thanks for watching.